Hey guys, today we're going to learn about sales and income tax. Sales tax is the tax on the sale of an item or service. It is a percent of the purchase price that is collected by the seller. So when you go to Walmart and you want to buy a bag of chips for $2.56, when you get to the register, you're going to notice, oh, that bag of chips is not $2.56. It would cost more. This is because there's a percent that's being added on to what you have to pay, and that percentage will end up going to the government to help pay for other things. For tax, we're going to change our percent to a decimal and then multiply. And then to find the total, it's the tax amount plus the original cost. So let's try one of these out. Quinn purchases 3 bags of chips for $2.56. A 2-liter of Dr. Pepper for $1.25. And 2 packages of cookies for $2.35 each. How much did Quinn spend if a 7.5% sales tax is applied to the subtotal? So our goal is to first change that percent to a decimal. Now I know I already see a decimal in that percentage, but because there's a percent sign there, we still need to change it. So we're going to take 7.5%. and we need to move this decimal over twice. So the decimal is now here, and you're just going to fill in a 0 in the empty space. So now 7.5% is 0.075, and then for solving for tax, we're going to need to multiply. Now first, before we multiply, we need to know what our subtotal is. The subtotal is the cost of everything that we're buying before tax is applied. So let's look at the bag of chips. There's 3 bags of chips for $2.56 each. Each bag is $2.56. So we need to take $2.56 and multiply that by 3 bags. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7, and then I'm noticing there's 2 numbers that are after a decimal, so we'll count over 1, 2. So all of the chips are going to cost $7.68. A 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. A 2-liter, that means that they're just buying 1 Dr. Pepper. So we don't need to do anything extra there. And then 2 packages of cookies for $2.35 each. So we're going to take $2.35 and multiply that by the 2 packages of cookies. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. I notice there's 2 decimals, or 2 numbers after the decimal, so we'll count over 1, 2. So the cookies will cost $4.70. Now, to find the subtotal, we're going to add each of these numbers up. So we're going to take $7.68 and add it with $1.25, and then $4.70. 8 plus 5 is 13. 7, 8, 9 plus 7 is 16. Bring down that decimal straight down. 7, 8, 9 plus 4 is 13. So our subtotal is $13.63. Now, we want to first figure out what is the tax. Okay, so here's where we're going to start our process. To find the tax, we're going to change the percent to a decimal, which we did already, and then multiply it, and we're going to multiply it with this total here. going to take our subtotal, $13.63, and multiply that with 0.075. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. Now that we are at the 7, we're adding a 0. 7 times 3 is 21. And I know some people like to cross these numbers at the top off to show that they're done with those. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 2 is 44. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. And then 7 times 1, 7, 8, 9, and then we need to add these together. 5, 2, 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10. Now I'm seeing some numbers after the decimal. I see 2 here and 3 here. So we'll count over 5 total spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add our decimal. So this is 1.02225. We want to make this look like money. Remember, we're talking about money here. Taxes, dealing with money. So we need a round. Money has 2 numbers after the decimal place, so we're going to keep the 1.0. Now, we need to decide if that 2 is going to stay a 2 or round up. I'm looking at the 2 after. And remember the rule, 5 or more and let it score. Well, 2 is not greater than 5, so that 2 is going to stay the same when we round. So our tax is about $1.02. However, the problem is asking, how much did Quinn spend in all to find the total? So it says for total, take the tax that we just got and add it with the original amount. So our original or the subtotal was $13.63. And we're going to add that with $1.02. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 plus 0, bring that decimal down. 3 plus 1 is 4, and then bring the 1 down. So our total is $14.65. This is the cost of all of our snacks and the tax. Okay, the next type of tax is called income tax. Income tax is imposed by the government on one's earnings. So when you get a job, you're going to be expected to to send in a percentage of your money to the government to help pay for things. It's the same kind of deal with sales tax. The only thing with income tax is it makes however much money you're earning go down because you're sending that money in. But again, we're dealing with percentages here. Mr. and Mrs. King are filing their taxes together. Their taxable income is $89,321 for the year. Use the tax chart below to find out how much money they owe to the government. So we're going to look at this tax chart to figure out what percentage they have to send into the government. We know that their taxable income, so how much they can be taxed on, or actually what they made, was $89,321. And Mr. and Mrs. King, they are married. So we're going to look under the married filers. And then we're going to try to figure out where $89,321 goes. Now I'm noticing this goes from $0 to $19,400. They definitely make more than that. And these numbers here that are listed, they're ranges. So we're going to try to figure out what 2 numbers does $89,321 go in between. So it can't be the first one. The next one is showing 19,000 and 78,000. Well, 89,000 is still more than 78,000, so it can't be this one. 78,000 to 168. 89,000 does fall in between those two numbers, and if you kept going, you're going to notice, okay, well, 168 to 321, well, they definitely make less, so it can't be any of these others. So since they fall in this category here, we're going to notice that they owe 22%, so that's the rate for their tax. So we're going to take the total, 89,321, and we're going to be multiplying it by this percent. But remember, our process is that we need to take the percent and change it to a decimal first. So let's do that. Let's take 22% and change it to a decimal. If there's not a decimal in this percent, there's an imaginary one right after the second 2, and we'll move it over twice, 1, 2. So we're going to multiply it with 0.22. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 9 is 18, carry the 1, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Add a 0 because now we're on the second number. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 8 is 16, 17. If you notice, since both numbers were 2, we have the same numbers. They're just not lined up because we had to put that placeholder 0 when we got to the second number. Let's add. 6 plus 4 is 10. 9 plus 6 is 15. 8 plus 8 is 16. 7, 8, 9, and then a 1. Now I'm noticing that there are 2 numbers after a decimal. So we would count over 2 times from the left. And so the tax that they owe is $19,650.62. Here's the last problem. If they already paid in $21,540 throughout the year in the spring during tax season, will they get a refund or need to finish paying on their taxes? Now, I don't know if you hear your parents talking at home about taxes in the springtime, but usually we have to fill out our taxes and see, have I paid in enough throughout the year or did I pay in too much throughout the year? And then we file those taxes, and then the government will either give us a refund check or we have to send in some more money to make it even. They paid in $21,540. So throughout their working year, this is how much they sent into the government. But we just did the work, and we know that they're supposed to pay $19,000. So if you notice, they've paid in too much. So since they've paid in too much, they are definitely going to get a refund. And let's figure out how much of a refund they'll get back. So we're just going to find the difference between the two numbers, and to find the difference, that just means to subtract. So we're going to take $21,540, which is what they've been paying in all year, and subtract it by what they actually owed. Now, since this has a decimal on the end, I'm going to add a 0.00 to our first number. I need to do some borrowing. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down the decimal. 9 minus 0 is 9. 3 minus 5, can't do that, so let's borrow some more. 13 minus 5 is 8. Can't do 4 minus 6, so let's borrow. 14 minus 6 would be 8. Can't do 0 minus 9, so we gotta keep borrowing. 10 minus 9 is 1, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. So they'll get a refund check of $1,889.38. Some people like to get refunds. That just kind of gives them some extra money all at once to maybe buy some furniture or put it towards a vacation. Some people like to not get a refund and only pay just a little bit in the springtime. It's completely up to individual circumstances. So we talked about tax today. We talked about sales tax, which is tax on an item or a service, and you see sales tax at stores because stores sell things. It's a percentage of what you are spending on top of the subtotal. Remember, to find tax, we change the percent to a decimal and then multiply. And to find the total, we take the tax amount and add it with our original amount or the subtotal. We also talked about income tax. Income tax is imposed by the government on one's earnings. So however much money that you're making throughout the year, there's a percentage of that you also have to send into the government. And then during tax season in the spring, you figure out, well, did I get a refund back from the government? Did I pay in too much? Or did I not pay in enough and then I owe some more money? The Kings, they ended up getting a refund because they paid in too much. They paid in $21,000 where they only owed $19,000. Thanks for watching.